Hey folks, Gary Dean here with Sentiment Timing. This is our technical video report for Tuesday, April 31st, 2026. So what a difference a day makes. And I was putting an ebook together, that's why all this stuff is on here, but I figured I'd leave it because it's actually a really good training thing where yeah, I was explaining yesterday that we had institutions that were buying this entire dip. And the question was brought up, why is price dropping if institutions are buying? And it just meant that there's more selling than buying. But what it means though is institutions are building their position. And I said, we saw that before. Where was it? I think it was on this one. I think it was right around here where we just saw institutions buying, and then we had the same thing. So there was no rhyme or reason why they were buying this whole time, but they were accumulating their position. And sure enough, we saw buy, and then it explode higher. And this one was even more exaggerated, where we saw buy going all the way down. We saw divergences on our liquidity, our buy sell pressure. We had a liquidity divergence, and this was the end result. And so now what we want to see is, here's our anchor from this top to this down low period. You can see we had a pause right at the top of the primary distribution. The spiders pulled back from 648 down to 645, so that's 3 points on that, just with that, just using this indicator. But notice this: we didn't have any sells today at all, except for the last minute of trade, or the last 15 minutes of trading. We finally got a sell signal. So this would have kept you in the trade, and you can tell right here with these purple bars that there is more sales at the bid than there was the ask. So this is what we got. This, it ran right into our GAN number, and from there, we have to see how things wake up tomorrow. There's a lot of people that are short this market. I don't know if this is just a major squeeze. I don't believe the news was. I meant, I get it. I want that war over too, but the news really gapped up when Trump said that he's willing to leave Iran, even with the straits not open. And to me, I don't, I thought that was a little risky, but I know his game plan right now is going to tell Europe, now you guys got to come in. We did our job, and you take over the straits and you hold it because they get a majority of their oil from there. So maybe that's the plan. I don't know. It's a pretty master plan. I didn't think it was going to cause this much of a short squeeze, but we traded it pretty well today. We were doing the conservative way, trading both the long and the short side of IWM. We were just taking the trades off the table, when it was getting down to the low end of it, and we were getting buy signals. And then when it got up, we were scaling out of our long position. So it worked out. It was a good day. But what I was, my point that I was getting at is, just being able to see this, you're 99%, you're ahead of 99% of the traders, because they're sitting here and everybody was shorting everything. So this gap up, I'm pretty sure everybody was shorting it as well. And then they got squeezed one more time, and they're probably going to continue to squeeze it because they're trying to make sense of why we rallied today. And I can tell this. Just you could look at the number of bears that are in this market. It's one of the highest levels we've seen since the tariff tantrum. So it's one of those things where I think that if we didn't make the low, we're getting close to it. And the thing is, once this is done, I would not be surprised to see a 10%, if not a 20% rally off of the lows. And this may have been him again. I've thought that before, but it seems like once the Bears were done getting squeezed, we went right back down again. So I'm not going to throw my reputation out there and say the lows are in. I'm saying if once they're in, we are going to see a massive rally. We'll be at new all-time highs, and it may even be before summer starts. That's what I'm saying on it. So we'll have to wait and see. But in any case, so now we're in our secondary distribution. We got a sell signal. We do have divergences. So here's our buy sell pressure, and you can see that this was the initial spike up, and from there it was going down. So if we see some backing and filling tomorrow, or we see a drop, we want to find out where is going to be support. So we're going to go to a 5-minute chart, And man, I hate when this does this. Hang on one second. Five. Okay, so that removes it. So basically, what we're looking at is from this low to this high, we would be looking for a move to come somewhere down into the 640, down to the 637.90, and then all the way down to the 634, which would be closing this gap. We do have a liquidity or buy sell pressure divergence here, so I'm not going to say we're not going to come all the way down and retrace a big part of this move. But if we head higher, as I said, there's a real lot of bears that are short this market, and if we end up heading higher, I'd still be a little cautious shorting this market because I don't really want to jump into the herd that are really going to be shorting this the entire way up. So this would be our support zone, but we do have divergences. You can see here, institutions buying this entire dip here, they're selling it up here. So again, looking for some kind of drop would make sense. And again, that's the beauty of this software. I'm not even going to try to sell it anymore to you guys because either you see the advantage or you don't, knowing it's not going to be perfect with these buy signals and sell, even though a lot of times they are. But the thing is that you're getting a clue of what is going on behind the scenes right here. This is selling. They were buying this entire rally and then they were selling it up here. So that is saying there's going to be some pressure for the bulls to get through. And on top of that, we're also in our secondary distribution zone and we have divergences on the downside. So again, I'm not predicting what's going to happen. I'm saying looking through the eyes of the matrix, which I believe everybody should be. Otherwise, you're trading blind. It's saying that we could be having some type of pullback tomorrow. So let's take a look at IWM. Here we go. So again, that from this anchor to this anchor, we made it through the secondary, but you can see and not a whole lot of selling either. This is a 15-minute chart, and we didn't get it to really the last 15 minutes of trading. We got it, and you can see duration wise, we have a full duration to the downside. We do have a, a divergence on the buy sell pressure indicator. So again, we if we get some kind of pullback, that this would not surprise me at all. So let's figure out where support would be. And again, you can see it's coming right into the 243.78 down to the 246 242.60, and then our secondary is down at the 241. We're gonna have support here. This is We're gonna have a moving average support as well as price support. So we got to keep an eye on the 245.20. If they lose that and then lose the 244.75, that's when we're looking at our primary and then our secondary on that. But you can see we have divergences here. We can see that we had selling this entire way, a divergence on the pressure indicator. And you can see there was a lot of selling going on the way up here just from the purple bars. Now, I know we have it's a couple people that bought the software today, and I'm going to answer your question in this video. Is the purple bars or the aqua bars? No, they're not an automatic buy signal. You want to wait for either to see buying coming in on your liquidity divergence indicator, and you want to see your buy sell pressure diverging as well. So moving up is going down, as price is going down, and then you simply look for where your accumulation zone is. So this would be a perfect example. We had a sell signal. We came down. This came down into our primary. We got a buy signal, and from there, that's where everything shot up. So tomorrow, I'm open minded for the one reason that I do believe there's a lot of bears out there, and they may just squeeze the heck out of them, and we may not stop for a while. But looking at through the eyes of the matrix, I'd be a little cautious because I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't any backing and filling tomorrow. So with that, let's see how it plays out tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.